Ang official radio partner, DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho, ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay.
Magandang kalusugan po sa inyo lahat. Ito po si Master James Alejandro na nag-aanyaya sa inyo na ugaliing makinig sa kaagapay sa kalusugan. Hatid po sa atin ng Herbs and Nature Corporation. Pag-usapan po natin ang wastong pangangalaga ng ating kalusugan. Kaagapay ang mga magagandang herbal at natural na suplemento para sa maayos na pangangatawan. Kaagapay sa kalusugan. Tayo po ay napakikinggan. Ganap na alas 4 ng hapon mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Kaagapay sa kalusugan. Hatid sa atin ng Herbs and Nature Corporation. Maraming salamat po.
Back to Christ Healing Crusade of Father Lahi kasama si Elder Ver.
Ito po ang inakay ng sisiw ng Haring Agila, si Brother Ruel.
Back to Christ Healing Crusade of Father Lahi. Araw-araw, alas 3 ng umaga, dito sa DZXL.
Ano ang coronavirus? Ito ay isang uri ng virus na nagiging sanhi ng simpleng sipon hanggang sa matitinding sakit gaya ng Middle East Respiratory Syndrome o MERS at Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome o SARS. Ano ang sintomas ng isang taong may coronavirus? Depende sa uri ng virus, pero ang kadalasang sintomas nito ay lagnat, ubo, paghahabol sa paghinga at hirap sa paghinga. Maaari din itong magdulot ng impeksyon na nagdudulot ng pneumonia, SARS, kidney failure at maaari ding magdulot ng pagkamatay. Kaya tayo ay mag-ingat at panatilihing malinis ang ating kapaligiran upang maiwasan ang sakit na ito. Ito ay serbisyo publikong hatid sa inyo ng DZXL Radyo Trabaho, ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay.
Lumipas at magbago ang panahon. Iisa at nakatatak ang kauna-unahang himpilan sa paghahatid ng serbisyo publiko at balita. Ito ang Radio Mindanao Networks. Higit 6 na dekada sa paglilingkod sa masang Pilipino. Sa Metro Manila, ito ang DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho, ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay.
Oras po natin, 11:08, pero bago tayo magsimula ng ating programa ay dumako muna tayo sa Malacanang at nagaganap ngayon ang kanilang press briefing at kasama natin sa Balita XL Radyoman 4, Angel Ronquillo. Angel, good morning.
Magandang umaga, Radyoman Ramcy. Pakinggan natin si Tole, Secretary Silvestre Balyo III, hinggil sa laging handa briefing dito sa Palasyo ng Malacanang.
Hindi kami, no question as long as you're an OFW active member of OWA, we give you financial assistance. Then, aside from that, we also have yung livelihood assistance. And then, I'm sure most of them may also consider another employment opportunity. So we have also a alternative employment abroad na naman yan. That's why we have been busy establishing labor relations with countries such as Canada, Russia, Czechoslovakia, Croatia, and then even China. In fact, I'm meeting with some of the officials of China anytime this week regarding the possibility of establishing labor relation on unskilled, yung tinatawag nating household service workers. So yun po, meron din kaming tinatawag na livelihood assistance if they want to go to business rather than get another employment, we can provide them. Ang minimum assistance namin dyan ay 20,000. Walang yan, hindi yan pautang, bigay yan, assistance yan. But they can go as high as 1 million depending on anong business na papasukan nila. Pero ito naman, interest-free. And then finally, this is a long-term assistance sa ating mga OFW. This is the so-called scholarship program for the children of our OFWs. Basta gusto mag-aral ng ating mga OFWs, we will provide them free education. Yun po ang aming programa. We are prepared. Sabi nga ni Sec Martin, laging handa tayo magbigay ng ganyang mga tulong sa ating mga kababayan. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sec Martin. Good morning to members of the Malacanang Press Club. The DILG welcomes the decision of the local government of Capas Tarlac because they place the national interest above and beyond the objections of some of their constituents. We thank them for withdrawing their objections to the use of the Athletes Village in New Clark City in Capas Tarlac as a quarantine site for repatriated Filipinos from China. Secretary Anyo assures the local officials of Capas and their residents that all precautionary measures are in place to ensure their safety and protection to prevent the spread of the coronavirus in their locality. Strict procedures are currently being implemented by the DOH, and the movement of the repatriates are limited to the quarantine building only, and it's secured 24/7 by the DOH. The Philippine National Police, on the other hand, has been tasked by the DILG to secure the perimeter of New Clark City, which is far from the major population centers of Tarlac and Pampanga. So to those of us who covered the SEA Games, makikita po natin malayo po talaga yung New Clark City. We also wish to emphasize that all 30 of the repatriates that are now in Clark have no symptoms of nCoV and are being quarantined only as a precautionary measure. If they were patients under investigation, they will be brought to the isolation ward of a hospital for close monitoring. Meron din po mga tanong sa amin from residents of Capas kung natatransfer ba daw yung nCoV virus through flies. Kasi yun ang kanilang, wala pong iba.
DZXL Special Coverage. DZXL Special Coverage.
Okay, at pansamantala muna po natin puputulin yung ating press briefing na nagaganap ngayon dyan sa may Malacanang. Ito po nga ay tungkol doon nga po sa pag-repatriate ng mga Pilipinong galing doon sa Wuhan, China. So ngayon po ay balikan na natin yung ating press briefing at pakinggan natin ito.
Times like these that we need to come together as a people. Now the DILG also calls on all LGUs to lead all the way to the community level and amplify its continuous information campaign to respond to this crisis. By now, we expect all barangays to have organized their respective BHERTs or Barangay Health Emergency Response Teams. And these teams must be equipped with the basic knowledge on nCoV and use the nCoV decision tool of the DOH to identify a possible nCoV case. We wish to emphasize the important role of the barangay in reporting possible cases to their respective city and municipal coronavirus task forces who will do the case investigation. It will be the city or municipal health authorities who shall do the referral to the DOH, who will determine the next steps to be undertaken. Again, barangays are only first responders here, and it will be the city or municipal task forces who will conduct case investigation and determine the next course of action. We urge all LGUs to continue information dissemination on proper hygiene, coughing, and hand-washing etiquette. Infrared scanners and alcohol dispensers should also be distributed to all barangay health centers and public buildings. This afternoon, the President and the DILG will convene all 1,715 local chief executives, from mayors to governors, to strengthen government efforts against the 2019 novel coronavirus, the African swine fever, and discuss other national concerns on public health and peace and order. Joining the President are heads of national government agencies such as Secretary Anyo, DA Secretary William Dar, DOH Secretary Francisco Duque, National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon, among other members of the Cabinet. The President will give direction on some pressing national issues, such as the need for a strong local government response on the coronavirus and the recurring ASF in the country. We will hear all the answers directly from the President and the heads of national government agencies. Other than the coronavirus, the said meeting of the President with all mayors and governors in the country will also focus on the African swine fever and the implementation of EO70 on ending the local communist armed conflict. The President's directive for an LCE convention serves to synergize all efforts of the government in responding to the most urgent predicaments on public health and peace and order to ensure that every LGU in the country is in the loop with the latest steps undertaken by the national government. Thank you, Secretary Martin.
Right. Before we give you a PowerPoint presentation regarding the recap of the past 2 days on the repatriation operation from Wuhan City, we'd just like to point out first, we'd like to thank the DND, especially for the use of the Air Force facilities, Haribon Hangar, and their allied services, the DFA, DOH personnel and staff, the Bureau of Immigration, the Bureau of Quarantine, the RTV MPCO team, PNP, the Office of the Governor of Pampanga, Clark Development Corporation for the use of their facilities, and BCDA for the use of the Athletes Village. We'd just like to show you a short video, a short PowerPoint presentation. Okay. DFA brings home 30 Filipinos from Wuhan. This is on 27 January. The DFA met with DOH officials to discuss properly how to respond to the emergency. Next. On the 28th, DFA announced that it was ready to repatriate Filipinos in Wuhan City, from Wuhan City and the rest of Hubei province. 28th to the 4th February, various planning and coordination activities in the Embassy and Consulates General. And these are some of those who left. We have a 5-member DFA repatriation team composed of 2 from the Philippine Consulate General of Shanghai. We have Mark Anthony Giguera and Sani Darren Beharin, and 3 from the DF Office of the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers. We have Ruel Casaclang, Richard De Los Santos, Abdul Rahman Pakasum, and another team from the DOH. So the on-site repatriation team of the DFA handed out. Okay, can we back off? Yes. Anyway, so it left without a hitch, and it left without a hitch at about past 10 o'clock in the evening on Saturday night, and was able to return, in fact landed in Clark at about 7 a.m., containing bringing the total of 30 Filipinos, 29 adults and 1 infant, repatriated from Wuhan City, Hubei, through a chartered flight. All right, and although initially 56 people expressed intent to return home, but due to various circumstances, like distance from Wuhan, the total number of repatriates went down to 30. They were joined by, the repatriation team was joined by a 5-member DOH team, Dr. Neptali Labasan, Dr. Oliver Ray Macalinaw, Ruel Divina Gracia, Elmer Colyong, and Jose Juan. We deeply appreciate their efforts. Some of the scenes. All right. Thank you very much. This is from the return, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, MPC questions? Ace, then Maricel and Jinky.
Secretary Bello, you mentioned about the reintegration of Filipinos repatriated from China, but what about the Filipinos whose employment were affected because of the travel ban? what are you going to do to provide them relief or maybe assistance?
Thank you. Actually, there is no basis yet to say that the employment of these returning OFWs has been affected because we got verified information from our labor attaché in Hong Kong that the employers of our overseas workers there granted extension of vacation of our OFW. So, as to a possible unemployment, wala po tayo dyan. But having said that, we immediately gave financial assistance of 10,000 per overseas worker. And as of Friday, last week, we already extended 35 million pesos to 3,500 OFWs. But that is also growing every day. That's why, if you will recall, Secretary Martin, I advocated during our last cabinet meeting that the travel ban should be lifted. But in deference to Secretary Pinco, he's more concerned about the health of our overseas workers. The decision was to proceed with the travel ban.
So ang nag-extend po yung Hong Kong o buong China?
At tuloy pa yung travel ban. But the Secretary Pinco, Secretary Duque said that they will have an observation period of 2 weeks. Sabi niya kung lalala, then it stays. But if it improves, may sabihin hindi naman lumalala yung coronavirus problem, baka ma-recommend niya, baka ma-recommend niya ang lifting of the travel ban.
Pag lumala po. Okay. So you're saying wala pong maapektuhan kahit isang OFW na bound for China, Hong Kong, Macau because of the travel ban?
I'm talking about Macau and Hong Kong because in China we don't have a polo office there.
Okay. Pero paano po yung mga China bound?
Maybe that should be addressed to Yusek Abella of DFA. Silang may capability na mag-determine kung sino yung mga affected doon.
So, Yusek?
Yung tinatanong niyo yung kung paano yung
yung mga OFW po na may trabaho sa China na hindi po ngayon makaalis dahil sa travel ban.
I think as far as I know that they're in touch with the consulates and the embassy and that sila ina-assist ng mga sila ina-assist ng mga staff natin doon to determine exactly kung anong nature na assistance na dapat mabigay sa
Are they talking to the employers?
If and when necessary, that will be the case.
Ilan po kaya yung...
I cannot, hindi ko mapipredict yun. But whatever assistance we can extend, mabibigay sa kanila.
Okay, salamat po.
Maricel?
Hi, sir. Good morning po. Secretary Bello, you mentioned earlier na probably there will be OFWs to be repatriated from Japan. Meron na
DZXL Special Coverage.
Yung coronavirus, wala kahit isang OFW ang nagsasabi na gusto na umuwi.
But why did you mention, sir, that probably also in Japan?
Because there was a case of a crew member na kababayan natin na was contaminated with the nCoV. Ito yung nandun sa Diamond Princess cruise ship. Nandun sila ngayon sa Yokohama kasi when they found out na may tinamaan doon ng coronavirus, they decided to dock in Yokohama. Now, out of the 3,000 passengers and 1,500 crew members, there are 538 Filipinos, out of which only one was contaminated with nCoV. So yun, sabi naman ng aming labor attaché doon, based in Tokyo, si labor attaché Ross Escalada, road to recovery na yung ating kababayan doon.
Sir, I understand it was already answered over the weekend, but just to reiterate, will there be a second batch of OFWs to be repatriated from Wuhan? Kasi po, merong lumabas na article online this morning na meron daw expected na second batch ngayong Lunes. Totoo po ba yun?
I'm not in a capacity to confirm or deny that. Si Yusek Abella siguro.
Yusek, sir.
As of the present moment, we have not reached any walang dumating na mga ganun request, information. However, if and when the principle is, we will repatriate any and all. But we just have to go to the proper protocols of whether, proper protocols of getting the right, being able to comply with the requirements of the host country. Pero we will extend any and all as far as possible.
So it's not true na meron pong expected
As
na
far
second
as we
batch?
know,
All right, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Jinky, then Rosalie and Mela.
Hi sir, sa DILG po, kay Yusek Malaya. Sir, sinabi niyo po kanina na cooperative naman now yung province of Tarlac na about sa repatriated na mga kababayan natin na nandoon sa New Clark City. Pero sir, if there's any, kung meron lang sir, what possible sanctions kaya would the government give to local officials who refuse to abide by the upcoming mandated quarantine of repatriated Filipino in New Clark City, sir?
Well, we already warned, no? Una-una, let me just clarify na it's not the province of Tarlac, it's the municipality of Capas in Tarlac. Sila na naman yung nagkaroon ng issues, and ang sinabi na naman nila is they had this reaction because they were not consulted before, no? But since the consultation process gumalaw na and it was explained to them the circumstance, they already said that they will cooperate with government. Una-una, technically, we don't really need the approval of the local government because the Athletes Village is part of the New Clark City, which is a development of the BCDA, which is part of the national government. So, kumbaga, it was just a courtesy, no, that we gave to them. So, besides passing a resolution, there was no other overt acts naman that were done by the municipal government. So, I guess the national interest naman at the end took precedence. So in this case, more of a warning na lang to local government units na wag silang magpapa sa kanilang damdamin, no? Wag silang magpapadala sa kanilang mga damdamin, no? Kasi ang dami kasing fake news na nagkalat, no? Tungkol dun sa sitwasyon. So siguro warning na muna to the LGUs kasi we understand but their reaction was because of lack of information and lack of knowledge.
Sorry sir, medyo makulit lang. Of course, we do understand about the warning. Paano sir pag nag-escalate sila? Well, hindi natin mapipigilan ang pagpanik ng iba, sir. Could you cite some sanctions lang kung talagang mag-escalate ito? Well,
government naman, if in case it escalates and they really prevent government from utilizing that area, we have the police power of the state. No, we will be immediately able. The Philippine National Police, though nominally under the local government, is really under the national government through the DILG. So we really do not foresee any problem moving forward. Ang tingin ko na kailangan natin aksyonan ng mabigat is the fake news that's floating around. No, last Friday, there was this infographic that was distributed widely about a DILG memorandum circular that allegedly says that there will be mandatory quarantine from 20 plus countries. No? And we are warning those people that the Secretary Anyo has already directed the CIDG to investigate kung sinong nag-post noong infographic na yon, because that's a violation of Article 154 of the Revised Penal Code and of the Cybercrime Act as well. At we will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, because what they are doing is creating panic and creating unnecessary threats to public order and safety. Because syempre nag-aalala yung mga ating mga kababayan from these countries na baka pag uwi nila dito sa ating bansa ay they will be subjected to quarantine, which that decision has not been made, and when that decision has been made, it will be announced by the DOH and the relevant government agencies.
Sir, one last na lang po. Are there any updates po regarding the Barangay Health Emergency Response Teams which were tasked by the DILG to monitor the entry of arriving passengers within the localities?
Yeah, we are still collating. As I knew that there was a press conference this morning, and I asked our bureaus to get the data from the regions. Pero that's a lot of barangays kasi across the country. We will just make the necessary announcement. But what we can say at the moment is that all LGUs have already organized their local task forces, no? And the President will emphasize that again this afternoon in the meeting with the mayors. But on the question as to the barangays, we're still collating the data, and we will make regular updates as soon as the information is available.
Okay, Rosalie, Mela, and then Ina.
Good morning, sirs. Kay Yusek Abella po. Sir, hiwa-hiwalay po kasi yung report. Ano po ang consolidated base sa monitoring ng DFA sa bilang ng mga Pilipino abroad na infected na ng nCoV at ilan din po yung under quarantine because of nCoV?
Right now, we don't have the exact details, but we can give it back to you, no? But ano po siya? You're talking about just aside from China?
No, meron pong napabalitang confirmed case sa UAE and meron pong, di ba yung sa Japan, sa cruise ship may isa pong contaminated din po ng nCoV. So, 2 po yung reports. Yun po ba yung total ng infected kababayan natin ng nCoV?
So far, ang ano po natin is, I can get back to you regarding that. Okay.
Sir, based on reports din po, nabanggit din po ni Secretary Bello na may 538 Filipino crew dun po sa under quarantine sa cruise ship. Correct, sir?
How many numbers?
5.
Yeah, doon sa Diamond Princess cruise ship, there are 538 Filipino crew members, out of which, pero ang total na crew members ng cruise ship na yun is 1,500 plus. 10 ang na-determined to have been contaminated with nCoV. One of them is a Filipino by the name of Mr. Reyes, if I'm not mistaken. Naka-confine na doon, and then mukhang road to recovery. So with yung taga Dubai, confirmed din na tinamaan siya ng coronavirus. Pero again, ang report ng aming labor attaché doon, si labor attaché Felibay, road to recovery. In fact, they expect her to be released by baka ngayon, because I received the report yesterday.
Sir, based po sa statement ng Executive Vice President ng Princess Cruises, yun pong mga passengers ay sinisilbihan pa rin po, binibigyan ng meals 3 times a day. So do we expect these Filipino workers on board ng Diamond Princess na nagtatrabaho pa rin despite quarantine?
Nagtatrabaho, nandun naman sila sa kwan eh. Hindi naman sila pinababa, nandun lang sila sa loob ng cruise ship.
Pero sir, meron po silang mas malaking exposure dun po sa nCoV since thousands of passengers po ang kailangan i-quarantine until February 19. Do we have a move from the side of the government na pakiusapan ang Japanese government na mag-provide ng kanilang medical practitioners na sila na yung magkaloob ng pangangailangan ng lahat ng mga passengers and crew since exposed po 538 po yung Filipino crew na po pwede rin pong ma-infect ng coronavirus?
Thank you. Napaka-relevant yung mo, and it's very much relevant to the information we got from no less than the manning company, the Magsaysay Manning Company. Sabi nila, they were impressed with the way the Japanese government treated all itong mga passengers. In one day, they were able to treat o examine nila yung 3,000 passengers, and it was determined na walang tinamaan ng coronavirus. Doon sa 1,500 na crew members, only 10 were found to have been contaminated. So that's how dedicated and effective yung health services sa Japan. Yun ang report sa amin ng Magsaysay Manning.
So we expect po na papanawagan din po ng pamahalaan na wag na silang mag-serve yung pong mga kababayan natin doon sa barko.
Hindi naman sila makakaalis doon dahil under quarantine pa sila for 14 days. Ngayon, kung na-clear sila, then they can proceed with the work.
Okay po.
Okay.
Undersecretary Bayugo is already here from the Department of Health, and I understand that the Undersecretary has a statement to read.
Thank you, sir, and good morning po, sir. Magandang umaga po muli. Sorry po for being late. But the Secretary of Health, hindi po talaga siya makapunta, pinipilit po sana. But yung laryngitis niya is getting worse. Since Saturday pa ho yun. So I was asked, actually last night I was asked to join ngayon. I was asked to represent. At medyo naligaw po kami, sir. So pasensya po. But we have a PowerPoint presentation sana. It's being arranged now. But still, I'm going to read siguro a few lines while preparing for that. So again, meron po akong script. Good morning po, and I will be providing you with a brief update on the 2019 NCOV ARD health events and recently conducted repatriation process of our overseas Filipino kababayans from China. So first on the status of our PUIs and COVID cases, globally, we have, as of February 9, yesterday, there have been a total of 37,558 cases, of which 813 have died. And 812 of these deaths occurred in China and 1 in the Philippines. The case fatality rate is 2.16%. The map, it's not the map, but in the Philippines, we have 284 PUIs reported in the
DZXL Special Coverage.
Already been discharged. So as by 12 o'clock this day, 12 noon, we will be updating our data on the PUIs and our cases of NCOV. So regarding the repatriation process po, ito po ay efforts of all the different agencies ng Interagency Committee on Task Force. So ito po yung nasa these are the cases as of yesterday, but it will be updated this afternoon, 12 noon, because may mga PUIs po na na-identify again. So we'll just provide you later on the updated data. Can we have the next slide if okay na yan? So this is the process that we have followed as far as the DOAs. Again, lahat po ng agency involved, but what I can probably talk about is the process wherein the Department of Health is involved. We have enforced 3 screening levels during the repatriation process to ensure that the health and safety of our kababayans and to prevent the importation of the 2019 novel coronavirus. First, during the prior to boarding, there is screening of there was screening done of those who are going to come home, and screening for fever and respiratory symptoms, and only those that are asymptomatics, meaning walang ubo, walang lagnat, and no other health conditions that will warrant possible contamination, we're allowed to board the plane. On the flight back, the second process is while on the plane, in the return flight, they are regularly monitored by our health staff. And kung may makikita pong symptoms, the plan is ilalagay sila sa likod, separate din kaagad, so that minimal yung ating possible interaction with those who are not showing any signs and symptoms. So, segregated na po yun kung kailangan i-segregate. And pagbaba nila sa plane, meron po tayong mga quarantine officials na nakaabang doon sa hagdan at titingnan po titingnan ulit kung may lagnat, may mga nakikita. So may camera po ulit na nakalagay doon at that will monitor kung may fever and other symptoms. So yun po yung tatlong process that we have planned and executed actually. And fortunately, wala pong nag-show ng any signs and symptoms. Even those that were coming from China, nobody was rejected. Everybody that were listed or that have intention to go home were accepted because they are well and in good condition. Sa plane po, wala ring nakasakit. And doon sa screening sa baba, wala po namang nakita paglapag sa Pilipinas. So all of them, the repatriates, are now being quarantined doon sa ating quarantine facility sa New Clark City. Next slide. So ito po yung number of people under quarantine at this point. We have 32 from China, which includes 5 children and the 2 advanced DFA staff that went there. They are from Shanghai yata, sir po. And from our repatriation team, 3 from DFA and 5 from the Department of Health. And the 6 plane crew, those who fly the plane. And we have included 3 local ground crew because we have observed that may mga konting breach doon sa infection control protocol. May napunit na PPE doon sa ibang nagbubuhat ng luggage. And so to make it sure na wala namang mangyayari sa kanya, we have decided na isubject na rin silang 3 for the 14-day quarantine. Subject to further evaluation pa rin, depende sa degree of possible exposure. But now, 49 po yung nakalagay doon sa ating quarantine facility sa Athletes Village in New Clark City. Next slide, please. So in the quarantine period, the passengers were considered as persons under monitoring, and they are currently undergoing a 14-day isolation period. Our on-site medical staff from the Jose B. Lingad Memorial Regional Hospital will be working 24/7 to conduct daily monitoring of the vital signs and status of the PUMs, and to provide appropriate health and hotel services to those who are quarantined. We are providing also the food and the toiletries and anything that they may need during the course of the 14-day. The daily monitoring is scheduled every 9 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon to check for any significant changes in their health status. Those who will develop symptoms such as fever, coughs and colds, and other respiratory symptoms will be immediately brought by an ambulance on standby within the area to the designated hospital for isolation and proper clinical management. Sa ngayon po, nagsimula na rin yung psychosocial services sa kanila. May mga exercises na ginagawa, and there is a place provided for them to, by batches, to see the open field, breathe fresh air, and do some exercise na medyo kailangan ng bigger space. So it's being provided as we speak. Next slide po. Allow me to go through some photos from yesterday's repatriation mission. First, the 5-man DOH repatriation team. We call them the Brave 5 or the Brave Hearts. Seen here, fully suited in their personal protective equipment. We also conducted screening and assessment of our overseas Filipinos in China prior to boarding, during the flight, and prior to disembarking the plane. Thankfully, as mentioned earlier, all repatriates were asymptomatic throughout the journey and were transferred to the quarantine facility at New Clark City. A few more slides. Next slide, please. Medical personnel at the quarantine facility had set up a medical station to accommodate the repatriates and conduct another round of screening. Dito po nag-health profiling kami by the health staff of the regional office. And these health workers also secure their own PPEs before conducting the baseline profiling of patients. So, to ensure that our health workers on the ground are protected, sila po naka-complete PPE din. So, the risk of importing or transferring it to them is very minimal. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. The Athletes Village at the New Clark City in Capas, Tarlac was designated as the quarantine facility for voluntarily repatriated overseas Filipinos. This is approximately 29 kilometers away from Clark International Airport. The area has adequate provisions for quarantine and has comfortable and well-appointed rooms. We are grateful to the Bases Conversion and Development Authority's support through the use of their facilities for our repatriated Filipinos as part of the whole of government effort to ensure the health and safety of Filipinos. We will make sure that all our kababayans will be treated with utmost care and dignity as they go through the whole process of repatriation. Their comfort and well-being throughout the process is of utmost priority to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and the Department of Health. I would also like to thank the people of Capas Tarlac for hosting our repatriates. We understand your apprehensions and concerns, and we are working doubly hard to ensure your health and safety as well. Next slide. Maraming salamat po, sir.
MBC question, Mela Les Moras, and then Ina.
Hi. Hello. Yusek Bayuga. Hi po. For DOH.
Bayugo po. Opo.
Sorry. Opo.
Masanay po ako dun sa Bayugo kaysa sa feminine.
Opo. Yusek, just to reiterate po, some residents are still of Capas still fear the presence of repatriated Filipinos in the New Clark City. What assurances will you tell them po regarding the safety? Mainly nga sa health, kasi kanina may sinabi na rin po mga assurances yung DILG for the health side. At idagdag ko lang, Yusek, kasi may lumalabas din na report from Shanghai naman na may aerosol transmission na kinukumpirma. May update po ba kayo about it?
Wala pa pong ganong information that this is transmitted by aerosol or by air. So yung pong risk of getting infection by air transmission, by aerosolization is wala pa pong scientific basis at wala pa po kaming nakukuhang report. We've been in contact with experts at Geneva and we are raising all these concerns, miski medyo nakakatawa from the medical point of view, but hindi po namin pinapalampas, we are throwing it to them, and wala pa pong ganon. The first question was about?
Assurance lang po, sir, dun sa mga residente ng Capas na natatakot pa rin hanggang ngayon dahil nga dun yung quarantine site sa kanila.
If there are some, parang konti na lang po, and we're happy to note that our kababayan from Capas are now understanding that we need to take care of these Filipinas, and saludo na po kami sa mga taga-Capas for parang nag-turn around rather than objection. Actually, they are supporting our repatriates. They are providing towels. Meron na rin po mga ganong effort from the population of Capas and Capas Tarlac. So maraming pong salamat. But certainly, we are not going to be complacent. We are still doing everything na yung containment, isolation of our people there is ensured. Kaya nga, pati yung mga nagbuhat, nabutas lang ng konti yung mga PPEs, tatlo yon. We have decided na i-isolate muna rather than roam around.
DZXL Special Coverage.
Mga kasama, balikan natin si XL Radyoman 4, Angel Ronquillo, mura pa rin sa Malacanang Jail. Go ahead, Jail.
Yes, Radyoman Rod, nagpapatuloy nga itong laging handa press briefing dito sa Palasyo ng Malacanang kung saan ang guest speaker ay sila Dole Secretary Silvestre Bello III, DFA Undersecretary Ernesto Abella, rin din si DILG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya at si Yusek Gerardo Bayugo ng Department of Health. Sa press conference, sinabi nga pala netong ang si DIL, Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya, na yung nandoon sa isolation place daan sa Capas Tarlac, sa Atis Village sa particular, na kung saan wala naman dapat katakot yung mga kababayan natin. Dahil nga, noong una ay may resolusyon na inihain yung mga taga-Capas Tarlac na kung saan nagpahayag sila ng pagtutol na ilagay dyan yung mga kababayan natin na galing ng Wuhan, China, at para sumailalim nga ng 14 days quarantine. Tumututol sila dahil natatakot na baka mahawa sila, Ito ang kinatatakutang nCoV. Pero sinabi nga ng ating pamahalaan na walang dapat na ikatakot yung mga residente dyan nga malapit sa Atis Village dahil kung tutuusin, sila pa nga yung pinakaligtas dahil napakahigpit na security measures yung ipapatupad bago makalabas-pasok doon sa nasabing lugar. Kaya inassure ng DOH ng ating pamahalaan na ligtas yung ating mga kababayan na nakatira dyan nga sa may malapit sa Atis Village. Sinabi din kanina ni DILG and the Secretary Malaya na magko-convene mamaya yung nasa 1,715 na mga local chief executive kasama nga si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte nang sa ganon ay mapag-usapan pa yung mga dapat pag-usapan o yung paghahanda para nga dito sa nCoV. Gayon din dito sa meron pa rin kasi tayong African swine fever at dun sa iba pang concerns, health concerns sa ating bansa. So mamayang hapon ay magpupulong ang mga local chief executive kasama na si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Pinag-usapan din sa pulong balitaan yung pag-uwi kahapon nung nasa 30 ng mga OFWs mula dyan sa Wuhan, China. Sila ay dumating kahapon ng alas 7 na umaga sa Clark International Airport kung saan sa 30 ay 29 dyan ay adults habang isa naman ay infant at kasama sila at kasama dito yung 5 DOH team. Sinabi ni Yusek Abelia ng DFA na hanggang sa mga oras na ito ay wala pa namang request ng another batch na uuwi ng mga OFWs. Kung meron man ay dadaan muna ito sa proseso at agad naman nilang tutugunan o pauwiin dito yung ating mga kababayan kung meron silang request. Sa panig naman ng Department of Health, sinabi ni Yusek Bayugo na nasa 37,000 cases na ng nCoV sa buong mundo ito, kung saan merong iba't ibang kaso ng nCoV. 813 yung nasawi sa nasabing bilang, 812 ang mula sa China at isa nga yung fatality dito sa Pilipinas. Nasa 22.16% yung fatality rate nung nasabing sakit. Nasa 284 naman, Rajuman Rod, yung mga persons under investigation. Ito ay nasa 14 na rehiyon. Ito ay datos mula sa February 9. Nasa 240 pa yung naka-admit hanggang sa mga oras na ito.
Okay.
So, nagpapatuloy pa na mamaya magbibigay ulit ako ng karagdagang informasyon hinggil nga dito sa laging handa press briefing dito sa Palasyo ng Malacanang. Kasama mo sa Palasyo ng Malacanang, Radyoman 4, Angel Ronquillo Tatak Ariman, DZXL 558.
Thank you very much, Angel Ronquillo, mga kasama mula po sa Malacanang, kaugnay sa press briefing na nagaganap ngayon. Antabayaran, susunod na po ang mga balita sa RMN News Nationwide. Ako po inyong lingkod, Radyoman Rod Marcelino. Magandang umaga.